you've been trying to quantum leap into a new life, but things are just not changing for you, you have come to the right place. I'm going to be helping you transform your life in the next 30 days. Welcome to my channel. This is The Corner, and we're going to focus on how to quantum leap and everything manifest. First of all, let's define what a quantum leap is. Quantum leaping is embodying a new reality energetically first, tapping into a new frequency before anything else shows up. It's so powerful and you're so aligned that the world just bends to your perceived reality. So I briefly mentioned this in my prior videos, that you really need to investigate what emotional triggers are tied to some of the beliefs that you have, and the way you can determine this is by the reactions that you have. So it's gonna take a lot of observation on your end to figure out what feels true. For example, for me, I believe I had given this example in my old video. One of my prominent beliefs was things are harder for me because I am an immigrant. So obviously I have more shit to deal with. And it doesn't feel like a lie, does it? It feels very true. So you want to look for things that if you said this to someone else, they would say, well, of course it's true. This is the truth of it. This is how society perceives it. But the thing is, those are the beliefs that you have to pay attention to, the one that feels like it's actually the truth, because those are the ones that are tying you to your old reality. So guess what? It's gonna take re-narrating that belief that you have. And it feels weird because even for myself, it feels very strange to say something different about this, because, well, it's a fact. Immigrants have to go through getting a work permit legally, dealing with the system, and then there's the language, and then here's this and that and blah and all of that. Yes, I'm gonna always be behind if that's the case, because that is what I believe. So I really want you to pay attention to these core truths that you are protecting, because those are the ones that are standing in the way of you making a massive shift. The next thing I want you to think about is obsessing over current circumstances. Now, this can look like constantly checking your bank account and being like, well, I tried taking this inspired action and I've done this a couple of times, but where is the proof of my bank account? A couple weeks ago, or when was it? At some point I remember screaming, where is the proof? Show me the proof. And this is the most crucial part of a freaking quantum leap, because the evidence, this is the lesson of it all. And this is the lesson in manifestation in general, that the evidence is not outside of ourselves. The evidence is inside of ourselves. I was having a conversation today with my cousin, and we were talking about, I was telling her how it is so crucial to not look or not rely on signs outside of ourselves, because that's how we end up starting and quitting things. A lot of people in this world are not going to have the opportunity to quantum leap. It's going only to be a few people, because do you know why? Because only a few people are willing to take accountability for their lives. You cannot do quantum leaping without taking responsibility for your current life, for where you are right now. I had seen a TikTok video, and there's a lot of talk, and it used to make me feel comforted. The idea that I'm in the waiting room because God put me in that waiting room, and when it's time, He's gonna call me out, and I'm not denying that there are seasons for stuff, right? And I'm not denying that there are certain timing aspects that we cannot control. It would be a lie to say we cannot control those things. We can control those things. But do we do stuff? Do we have beliefs that keep us in the waiting room forever? Yeah, totally. And one of it is looking for evidence outside of ourselves. I constantly have to remind myself. And I was having a conversation saying, Physical exercise is not enough. Physical exercise is so important to me. Taking a walk, it recalibrates my system, but I realize it's not enough. You have to do energetic muscle work as well. And I've talked about this in another video. Go check it out. I believe it's the one in liminal space. But we have to manipulate our own energy on purpose, because that way we're able to witness how these emotions, how these thoughts actually impact us. Another thing I want you to think about is detaching from not only your beliefs, but also detach from your personality. Your personality is a culmination of the experiences that you have, and best believe if it's no longer serving, you have the free will to leave it and carry on and get a new identity. All right, there might be some things that are common, there might be some things that are the same or neutral, but I feel like I've lived through so many different personalities in a way, and I was so dead set before on who I was, and I've seen myself evolve again and again and again. All right, next thing is inconsistent frequency. This is what keeps half of the world, or probably more than half, in the waiting room, in liminal space, and it's inconsistent frequency. And I've talked about this. It's so important to do energetic exercise on inconsistent frequency. That means you have to protect your energy. It is the most valuable gem that can possibly exist in the world. And knowing that you have the ability to manipulate your own emotions so that you're heading in the right direction. How can you know if the frequency that you're feeling is the right direction or not? It's so easy. It feels good. If it does not feel good, then that is not the right direction. Now, I do want to preface by saying we don't want to do spiritual bypassing. I hate that. I do not want to do, I hate spiritual bypassing. I hate when people are not able to go through the motions of whatever they need to go through, and we're jumping straight to toxic positivity. I do not believe in that. I believe that all emotions are there for a reason, for a purpose, and we need to move through them. I think the difference is we don't want to stay in a particular emotion forever. That's the issue. Isn't that what drug addiction is, right? The will to stay in euphoria or free from pain for a long time. It's not sustainable, it's damaging. Eventually you die, because that is not the point of the human experience, is to move through all of the emotions of need be. And sometimes, honestly, going through rage actually recalibrates your system faster than saying, actually I don't see this, I don't see denial, or saying it doesn't affect me when it does, because sometimes it has gotten to the point where it's hard to pull yourself back, and at that point just rage, anger helps, because it takes you out of the point of frustration and being disempowered, and that allows you to take your power back. Next one is waiting for permission. This is so pivotal because it's related to the liminal space. A lot of people who are waiting to change their lives, to have this pivot, like this massive shift, are waiting in the waiting room. Some are saying it's God, some are saying it's because good things don't happen for them, some are saying this, some are waiting for the perfect plan. Essentially what's happening is everyone is waiting for permission. You grant yourself permission, claim this new life, and your only job is monitoring, taking action only when it feels exciting and satisfying. Those are your compass indicators of if you're heading in the right direction or not. I personally believe during this shift, it's so important to not rely on anything that will alter your senses. Drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be, because it's too dangerous. I feel like it can be a dangerous way to leap into a new reality, but there are a lot of unintended consequences that come from it. So I suggest not do it. I think it's also important to remember that during these quantum leaps, it's heavy on your body. So you need to take care of yourself and eat properly and really pay attention to what it needs, because during these quantum leaps you also purge. Purging is also there, right? So let's say you're not using any altering substances. What can you be doing? You can pay attention. You can use your senses, using music, using scents, using what you hear. So your ears, your eyes, taste, all of those are your friends in helping you drive yourself into this quantum leap faster, because it directly but it directly infiltrates your subconscious mind to make the changes it needs to make. So during this time, what are we focusing on? We're focusing on we're focusing on observing our beliefs, changing those beliefs, and detaching from our personalities, using our senses to anchor into this new reality, taking aligned actions that feel satisfying and exciting, right? Protecting ourselves, our energy from the wrong food, anything that will alter our system, or anything that will interrupt this sleep. But what we're not doing is waiting for permission or waiting for the perfect plan, because all of those keeps you in the waiting room, just like the majority of people are in. I am posting a new video every day. Catch me tomorrow. We'll talk. I'm gonna be helping you change your life